wish I knew what I know now. Wisdom is the principal thing. All this time just wasted thinking I own anything. Humility clothes me from the top of my head, soles of my feet, yeah. Teach me, teach me, show me the way. Hide my face from the wickedness of this world, I pray. Take my hand, protect my heart, hide me in the shadow of your wing. Like a child, see purity in my eyes. Allow me to sit at your feet. Hear me, hear me. Show me your ways, teach me your paths. I'm yielding to your will. Your loving commitment will endow me, surround me in my coming and my going. Cleanse me, purge me. I want to be white as snow, so I may testify of your love to those in search of you. Show me the way. You desire truth, the inward parts you make me know you. Take my hand, casting all my cares, refresh me with the waters of life. Like a child crying softly, forgive me. Allow me to approach your throne. Know me, yeah. Know me. Have mercy upon me, O Elohim, according to your loving kindness. According unto the multitude of your tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against you, you only, have I sinned, and done this evil in your sight, that you might be justified when you speak, and be clear when you judge. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, you desire truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part you shall make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which you have broken may rejoice. Hide your face from my sins, and blot out all mine iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O Elohim, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from your presence, and take not your Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of your salvation, and uphold me with your free spirit. Then will I teach transgressors your ways, and sinners shall be converted unto you. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O Elohim, the Elohim of my salvation, and my tongue shall sing aloud of your righteousness. O Yahuwah, open up my lips, and my mouth shall show forth your praise. For you desire not sacrifice, else I would give it. You delight not in burnt offering. The sacrifices of Elohim are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart. O Elohim, you will not despise. Do good in your good pleasure unto Zion. Build you the walls of Jerusalem. Then shall you be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offering and whole burnt offering. Then shall they offer bullocks upon thine altar.
Deuteronomy 28. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. But if thou wilt not hearken to the voice of the Most High, to observe and do all his commandments, then curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All these lies and delusions, wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened.
Seek out the ways of the heathen to make a covenant with Satan's government. Turn their face away from the Most High, evil desire. 2 Kings 17 said they passed their sons and daughters through the fire. They begin cutting divine spiritual ties, clinging to the heathen lies. Evil spirits bind, breaking souls, breaking spirits, ripping flesh, breaking minds. Running from the Most High wrath on the blood-stained path. 70 AD, Israelites fall. The Most High's chosen seed go into captivity. Hebrew Israelites watch nations rise. They watch nations fall. Four beasts, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece. We pray for the fall of the fourth beast. Under the iron foot of Rome, we long to go home. A hopeless nation lies dead in the valley of the dry bones. Simulation of Shemites to Hamite clones. Israelites wrong.
All these lies and delusions, wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened.
To build a wicked nation, no true identity, only tribulations. Fed scraps of swine, we eat the worst of the animal kind. Used, confused, they set us in high places to be abused. Control the tribe, control the tribe. Our leaders take bribes to continue the lies. Four beasts behind the scene in the skies, watching with the all-seeing eye. The heathen take flight into a new world order. Hebrews sleepwalking into a wicked system that's gonna fall. Awake, awake, reject Babylon. Hear the trumpet of awakening throughout the day and night. Awake, Most High has summoned. The Hebrews are coming. Awake, come out of captivity. Awake, you who sleep. Arise, receive the Most High's laws and commandments.
All right, I say shalom, 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 shabbat, shalom. All praises to the Most High. Shalom, Israel, far and near. Far and near. Fools, enemies, haters, lovers, whatever you want to be. But most of all, be lovers of the Most High. I say Kwam Yasharallah for this Sabbath day. All right, it's a nice day. A nice day to be in the land of the living. To be living to see the Most High's judgment. And he's doing upon Babylon, spiritual Egypt. We see our time in Babylon is dwindling down.
That's right.
The time is moving faster than we realize, man.
Yes.
Things are happening rapidly. Events are moving. Things are moving in place. The judgment of the Most High is coming quickly.
Right.
And I hope that our people wake up to see what the Most High is doing. He's showing us that our 400-year captivity has finally come to an end.
Right.
And he's bringing that rightful judgment that he said he was going to bring upon the nation that afflicted us. All right, so I want to give all praise to the Most High. And hallelujah, all praises to the Most High. All praises due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua HaMashiach. And that we continue to grow in grace and the glory of the Most High. And that we be humble. We strive to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. And that we strive toward that mark, that prize of the calling that Paul spoke about, that we inherit that righteous crown that the Most High has for each and every one of us. And it's beautiful as we see the things being unfolded, that the Most High has awakened us to see His truth, the understanding, and to see the growth, and also to see the judgment that the Most High is going to bring upon Babylon. But as usual, I'm going to start off my class with a Psalms. We're going to go into the book of Psalms. I didn't choose no particular psalm, but I'm just going to randomly choose a Psalms to give the Most High His props. You know what? I'll tell you what. Let's go to the book of Psalms. A real befitting Psalms today. That's going to fit today's go to Psalms. Oh, damn. Doesn't that up the incense, huh? Brian, should I put the incense over here, though? All right, let's start with Psalms 58. Psalms 58 and 1. Psalms 58 and 1. You know, open the door too wide.
Reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 1. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men?
All right. So this is the question that David started off his Psalms when he started off the Psalms. But we know directly who this Psalms was being addressed to. It was being addressed to wicked doers and wicked evil men. All right. And he was directly phrasing this towards the wicked, the enemy of the Most High. Continue. Read that verse again.
Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Verse 2. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth.
So he says, yeah, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. So mean they weigh their justice, their so-called justice of violence in the earth by using their military force, their police actions, their covert activities, whatever power they have, they use those power to weigh the violence in the earth, to put down nations, to judge nations, or to so-called correct nations when they don't fall in line with their policies. Continue.
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Yeah, so David said the wicked are estranged from the womb. All right? As soon as they come out the womb, they're estranged. All right? They're not about righteousness. They're not about truth. They're not about justice. But they're strange as soon as they come out from the womb. As soon as they come out from the mommy's womb, a little serpent seed slithering his stomach. Continue.
They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
See, as soon as they're born, that's the first thing they know is how to speak lies and how to utter lies. Continue.
Their poison is like poison of a serpent.
See, their poison, which is their philosophy, their doctrine. Their poison is a poison of what?
Of a serpent.
Of a serpent, a poisonous serpent. Continue.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
You're like a deaf adder, a poisonous serpent that stoppeth the ear. They don't hear nothing, they don't consider nothing. Only thing they know, they have to filter and push forth their wicked, evil doctrine in the earth. Continue.
Verse 5, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O power, in their mouths.
See what David said? David's asking the Most High to break their teeth, O Most High. Break out their teeth. Break their power. Continue.
Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Most High. Let them melt away as waters which run continually when he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows. Let them be as cut in pieces.
So David is asking the Most High to destroy the enemy. Okay? That's what David is asking the Most High to do. And that's what we should be doing as a people. Asking the Most High to destroy our enemy. Continue.
Verse 8, as a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun.
He's asking the Most High to curse and destroy them. You see what I said? Like the birth of a what? Of an untimely? Read that part again.
All right. Like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun.
Just like a woman giving untimely birth to a child, to a premature child. David is asking the Most High to destroy him. Continue.
Before your pots can fill the thorns, he shall take them away as with a whirlwind, both living and his wrath. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance.
Stop right there. So David said, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. So are we supposed to rejoice when the Most High bring vengeance? Yes. Because the Most High is bringing a righteous judgment upon our enemies. So David said, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. Go ahead.
He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked.
Oh, hear that? We shall wash our feet in the blood of the wicked. Go ahead.
So that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Verily, he is a power that judges in the earth.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And that's what the righteous is going to say when the Most High bring his judgment. All right? So today's topic is like it says in the heading of the class, the fall of Babylon is falling quicker than we realize. All right? And I was pulling up some events of things that was taking place for this week, last week. And it was a lot of events that was popping up that's showing real rapidly. And one of them that I saw when I was reading, I saw in the Post paper, they had in the Post, I'm going to read it right here. I'm going to Shaquat read this real quick. Showing you how the Most High is rapidly declining the system. All right, and one of the posts was this here. Read this here, Shaquat.
Which one?
Top one. Okay, it's gonna come up.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's read the topic and then read a few of the paragraphs.
So the topic is frustrated NYC detectives leaving insane NYPD have had enough.
Right. So the NYPD detectives are retiring and leaving the force. And they said just for the month of June alone, there's been over 100 detectives retiring or resigning from the police force. So read this part here now.
All right. More than 100 NYPD detectives have retired in June, and another 75 plan to put their papers in next month. As many become frustrated by revolving door justice and rules that hamstring them in the Big Apple, officials and detectives told the Post. That's going to have a major impact on investigating crimes. Detectives Endowment Association President Paul, I can't pronounce his last name. The detective squads are down now as we speak and are investigating more cases. It's going to have an impact on public safety.
Right. So it's going to have an impact on public safety. Now, these are all signs of a diminishing kingdom that's faltering and that's declining. When you have your law enforcement that's retiring at a rapid rate, that's going to cause more crime, more violence. It's going to lead more to civil unrest, civil upheaval, and it's going to lead to anarchy in this society. Now, that's one segment, right? And we're going to go into scripture and show you about that too. That's the law enforcement that's resigning, right? Now, from here, go to this next one here now. I want to show you the next topic. This one right here. This one here. So this was from YouTube by a sister named Lisa Cabrera. And she has some very good topics. Okay, it's called, read the topic right here, the headline.
Okay, so the topic is watch companies have announced job cuts and hiring freezes due to recession fears on YouTube.
Right. So due to the recession fears, companies are laying off and they are not hiring. All right. And we know that goes in the scripture. The Most High said in Isaiah 19, there shall be no work for Egypt. Now, there's another story I want to show here too now. So a lot of events that's taking place here. So another one here. This was a major story dealing with the airlines. Read this one here. It says Delta.
Delta Post lost 17,000 employees opt for buying.
Right. So this happened last year. 17,000 Delta workers opt out, either resign or retired from working with Delta, which is causing a major effect in the airline industry. There's lack of workers, pilots. Pilots are going on strike. All right. Flights are being canceled daily. Because I know I work for the airline. I work for the airport. And it's a lot of cancellations with American Airlines, with Delta. It's a whole lot of madness, man. And it's a whole lot of work problems. So when I was doing the flight, so the flight attendant said, it's a busy day today. I said, man, I said, it's busy. I said, it's a lot of work. She said, I know. She said, she's telling me all over. It's lack of workers in the industry, and it's causing a backlog of a lot of flights and cancellations, and it's going to create a lot of problems. All right, and when the airlines can't make no money, it causes the economy to go down. All right, and then the cost of diesel fuel is going up.
Right.
All right, and then I'm gonna show you. It's another incident I want to show you about the diesel. About the diesel situation too. It's a whole lot of problems hitting this country, man. A whole lot of civil problems. All right, let me show you this one here. I'm gonna read this one here, and then we're gonna go into the scripture and show you what's causing these things. Shaquat, read this one here. I don't know if I can open big enough. It's called the economic collapse. Right.
All right. What am I about to share with you is a developing situation, and I hope to share more once the facts become clearer.
So start from the top up here.
Let me start.
Yeah.
All right.
Economic collapse.
Okay. A woman about the coming shortages of diesel fuel, diesel exhaust fluid, and diesel engine oil. What I am about to share with you is a developing situation.
This is a developing situation that's happening now, statewide. Okay, continue.
And I hope to share more once the facts become clear. It appears that a very serious diesel crisis is coming in the months ahead.
See, a diesel crisis is coming in the months ahead. And that's going to cause a major problem with the shipment of food.
Right.
There's a backlog of the chain supply, okay, that uses diesel, the trucks, all right? Continue.
And that will have a dramatic impact on our economy. As you will see below, we are being warned that there will be shortages.
See, there's going to be shortage. Now, shortage were all manufactured and made up by the elite rulers of this society. They engineered these problems. Continue, go ahead.
Of diesel fuel, diesel exhaust fluid, and diesel engine oil. Most diesel vehicles require all three in order to run, and so a serious shortage of any of them would be a major disaster.
Now the planes use kerosene. All right? All these things come from oil, but it's broken down to different process. Diesel, kerosene, and gasoline for cars and trucks. So it's a process that they use. That's a smart, ingenious way of how they did these things, man. How they broke down the process of the oil for diesel, for kerosene, all right? Because jet fuel only uses you.
Needless to say, simultaneous shortages of all three could potentially be catastrophic.
Right, it's going to be catastrophic. Continue.
Most Americans don't spend much time thinking about diesel, but without it, our supply chains collapse.
See, without diesel, the supply chain will collapse, and that's what's happening. There's a backlog of the supply chain.
Wow.
All right, those big tankers. I think they use diesel fuel too. All right, go ahead.
And we don't have a functioning economy. In a recent Time magazine article discussing the coming diesel fuel shortage, we are told that the U.S. economy runs on diesel.
Right, the U.S. economy runs off of diesel, all right? Oil, okay? Oil is the bloodline of America. Without oil, this country will collapse. And see, and the Most High is so good how he set everything up. That's why the Most High said he's going to drag them down. He's going to drag them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right? Because it's going to boil down to the oil. To get that resource of the oil to fuel the economy. All right? And there was something else I wanted to show you here too. Let me see if I pull it up. But this is good for now. Let's go into the scriptures and show you why these things are happening. Okay, because the elite rulers of this earth, they work for Satan. Satan is their direct boss. But the overall boss for the elite rulers, Satan is who? The Most High. The Most High. He is the big CEO. He's the owner of the corporation. And they're following the dictates of the Most High. But Satan is the middleman that dictates and puts the information into the minds of the ruling elites. The ruling elites gets their information from Satan, directly from Satan.
Right.
He communicates with them and tell them what to do in the earth. All right? Let's go to the book of Revelation, the 6th chapter. Because everything that's happening in the earth is part of the plans that the elites is doing through the working of Satan. Satan puts out the dictates and the information to the elites and said, listen, you have to artificially engineer and create a crisis And in doing that, it fulfills prophecy. They think that they're doing it on their own accord, but what they're doing is fulfilling the prophecies of the Most High. All right? So, but hold that first, and let's go to the book of Job 12 and 6. And also get Psalms, the 17th chapter. I want to show you something. Because there are movers and shakers in the earth that are working off of divine guidance that we don't see or understand. People might say, yeah, it's a conspiracy. They're deliberately doing these things. But they're doing it because they have orders from the Most High through Satan. This is what people don't understand. All right? So let's go to first what? Psalms, what I told you?
Job 12 and 6.
Job 12 and 6. Read Job 12 and 6.
Reading from the book of Job, chapter 12, verse 6. The tabernacles of robbers prosper.
Okay, so who are the tabernacles of robbers? The elite rulers, financiers, bankers, the elite, the oligarchs, the plutocrats. Okay? So the tabernacle of robbers, read again.
The tabernacle of robbers prosper.
So the tabernacles of robbers prosper. Go ahead.
And they that provoke the Most High are secure.
And they that provoke the Most High are secure. How do they provoke the Most High? They think they're doing this on their own accord and that they have their own agenda, what they call the New World Order. They think that they're doing their New World Order is of their own agenda. Okay, go ahead.
Into whose hand the Most High bringeth abundantly.
Into whose hand the Most High bringeth abundantly. The Most High gave them the resources and the control of the earth. All the resources, the wealth is given into the hands of the wicked. That's why the Most High said the wicked controls the earth. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Now from there go to Psalm 17. But go to Psalms the 9th chapter first. Psalms the 9th chapter.
Elder, you have someone, Huey Vanderveer. There has been a lot of food and meat plants that have been burnt down.
Right. George's right. That's right. I was going to touch on that too. Thank you very much. I was going to bring that up too. One of them is called George's. Let me see if I pull it up. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me, brother. Yeah. It was right. I have it right. That's the one I was going to bring up too. I knew it was something else. To water, bro. To water. It was called George's. Let me put it up right here. All right, read this here for me, Shaquat. Right. And read the name of it when it's called.
It said Tennessee Food Processing Plant closing, 200 jobs lost.
See, 200 jobs lost.
Wow.
And this food company is called George's. And this is one of the many food processing plants that are being closed, burnt, or deliberately destroyed.
Wow.
Continue.
It say Caryville, Tennessee. Officials with a food processing plant, George's Prepared Foods, announced they were closing their Caryville location, leaving nearly 200 people jobless. It say Campbell County Mayor E.L. Morton told WVLT News that he was trying to keep the plant open.
Right. He's not gonna keep it open. Okay. He's just he's just a low dangling puppet. He has no power. Okay. Once the elite said close the plant, he has to close it. Okay. The elites are calling the shots in this earth. Okay. And what people is gonna find out, America is not no damn democracy, okay?
Right,
Don't believe that bull crap. Oh, it's not democratic. No. America is ran by plutocrats, oligarchs, hidden ruling elite families that runs this whole show.
That's right.
They tell your politicians what to do.
Right.
Okay? Don't that's an illusion. Oh, it's a democratic society. That's what they want you to believe while they have an agenda behind the scene.
Right.
All right? So what I told you to get after that?
Psalms 9.
Psalms the 9th chapter. I'm gonna show Psalms 9 and start here from the 15th verse.
Reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made.
See, the pit that they made, they're going to sink into that pit. They made a pit for us too. But the Most High is reversing that pit now for them to fall into that pit. Continue.
In the net which they hid is their own foot taken.
So it says, in the net which they hid is their own foot taken. They're going to be caught into their own snares and traps.
All praises.
Okay? So they dug a hole,
Right.
and they're going to fall into that ditch.
All praises.
Okay? So the same traps that they set for us, they're going to fall into that trap.
Right.
Continue.
The Most High is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands.
See, the wicked is going to be snared in the works of his own hands. The things that he is doing to the earth, he's going to be snared into those things. Continue.
Selah. The wicked shall be turned into hell.
The wicked shall be turned to hell. They're going to be destroyed. They're going to be brought down. Continue.
And all the nations that forget the Most High.
And all the nations that forget the Most High have the same fate. Continue.
For the needy shall not always be forgotten.
See, who's the needy? We're not always going to be forgotten by the Most High.
Right. Right.
But the Most High has shown us he's doing these things for us to bring in our righteous kingdom and to bring the wicked down.
Right.
Continue.
The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever.
See that? The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. We're not going to perish forever.
Right.
We have a final expectation, but it's not to be perished in this setup. It's to bring us out of this hell that we in.
Right.
Continue.
Arise, O Most High, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Most High, that the nations may know themselves to be but men.
That's what the Most High is going to let them know, that you just men. You're not no God. You're not the supreme power. The Most High is going to let you know you just a man that's following my orders. Okay? Go from there to Psalms, the 17th chapter. Psalm 17. Now I want to show you something else too. And then from there, go to, we'll move around real quick. Go to Jeremiah. After you read Psalm 17, start from the 9th verse.
Jeremiah.
No, we read Psalm 17 first.
Okay. 9.
Yeah.
Reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 9. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat.
What is their own fat? Their own fat is their own wealth, power, and rulership in the earth. Okay? That's their fat. Their fat is not saying that they're fat out of shape. They're fat in the resources and the wealth and the power that they have in the earth that nobody else has. Continue.
With their mouth they speak proudly.
With their mouth they speak proudly. Oh, we're the greatest people. We dictate what the nations need. Without us, you can't survive. There's no God. If there's a God, where is he? Okay, they speak proudly. Continue.
They have now compassed us in our steps.
So it says, they have now compassed us in our steps. They have surpassed us in our steps, in everything that we do and think. They have compassed us. Continue.
They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth.
So they have set themselves like, so they look at you like, who are you? You ain't nobody. So they set themselves bound down to the earth like as if they're gods, as if they're rulers forever. Continue.
Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Most High, disappoint him.
See what David is saying? David is saying, now arise, O Most High, and disappoint him. And that's what the Most High is doing now. He's trying to disappoint the devices of the wicked.
Right.
Hold that real quick and go to Job 12 again. Job 12. The Most High said he disappointed the devices of the wicked. Job 12 and start here from give me 1 second. It said right, he disappointed the devices of the wicked. second. I just had it and I lost it. Wow. Okay, go back there. It's gonna come back to me. I just lost it. Go back to where you was. Yeah.
All right. Psalm 17.
Yeah.
And 13. Arise, O Most High, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, from men which are thy hand, O Most High.
Okay, see what David said? Read that part again.
From men which are thy hand.
From men which are the Most High's hand. Now you might say, how could man be the Most High's hand? What David is saying, the Most High uses these men as his whipping tool and his power in the earth to do his bidding. Read that verse again so people understand what it's saying.
From men which are thy hand, O Most High, from men of the world.
From men of the world. Who are the men of these world? The elite, the rulers of this society, the unseen rulers that you don't see. Continue.
Which have their portion in this life.
Which have their portion in this life. What is their portion? Wealth, power, military power, political power, control of the resources. Continue.
And whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure.
And whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. Their belly is what? It's not talking about their physical belly. It's talking about their resources, their banks. All right? Whose belly thou filled with thy hid treasures. What are the hid treasures? Gold, silver, diamond, oil. Okay? Plutonium. Amount of raw resources that the earth has is in their control. Continue.
They are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babies. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness.
All right. So what I told you to get after that? Jeremiah, right? Go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 25. I want to show you something right here. How the Most High uses nations or people to control the earth. One second. Okay, start from Jeremiah 25 and start from start from Jeremiah 25. Start from the 8th verse. Jeremiah 25 and 8.
Reading from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25, verse 8. Therefore, thus saith the Most High of hosts, because ye have not heard my words, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith the Most High.
So all the families of the north represented Nebuchadnezzar, his sons, his grandsons, and his whole entire family. All right? The Most High was going to use them for a particular reason, to show Israel that I use men to control the earth and the resources and the people, just like he's using Esau today to run and control the affairs of the earth. Read that verse again.
Behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith the Most High, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant.
So the Most High called him his servant, because the Most High was going to use him, just like he's using Esau today and the elites to do what they're doing in the earth today. Continue.
And will bring them against this land and against the inhabitants thereof and against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them.
So the Most High used Nebuchadnezzar and brought him against Israel and against all the other nations, and he brought these nations down, and he brought us down by the hands of Nebuchadnezzar. So meaning the Most High doesn't have to come down all the time and do his bidding.
Right.
The Most High said, listen, hey, yo, you, Nebuchadnezzar, come here.
Right.
I'm going to use you, and you're going to be my hand to whip and put these nations and Israel in order. Do as I say. Go ahead. And the Most High put it in him. Oh, man, wow. Hold that. Go to Job. Go to the book of Job. Hold up real quick. Go to Job 33. Book of Job, the 33rd chapter. Job 33, and start here from the 14th verse.
All right. Read it from the book of Job, chapter 33, verse 14. For the Most High speaketh once.
Yeah, the Most High speaketh once. Go ahead.
Yeah, twice.
The Most High, yeah, twice. Go ahead.
Yet man perceiveth not.
Man doesn't hear. Man doesn't perceive. Man doesn't hear nothing. So the Most High said, okay, you can't hear what I'm going to tell you? Okay, I got another way of doing it. Go ahead.
In a dream, in a vision of the night.
See, in a dream, in a vision of the night, go ahead.
When deep sleep falleth upon man.
So the Most High said, when you sleeping and you resting now I have your attention now. When you sleeping, now I got your attention. Now I'm going to seal my instructions in you, what I want you to do. Go ahead.
And slumberings upon the bed. Then he openeth the ears of man.
See, the Most High said, then he opened the ears of man. Then he opened your understanding. Go ahead.
And sealeth their instruction.
And he sealeth their instructions. Then the Most High gives you his instructions, what he wants you to do in the earth. Go ahead.
That he may withdraw man from his purpose.
That he may turn man away from what he think he's going to do. Go ahead.
And hide pride from man.
All right. And that's why the Most High also said when you go to the book of Proverbs 20:24, man's goings are of the Most High. How then shall man understand his own ways? Right? The Most High is the one that directs your step when he wants you to do his bidding. Whether it's righteous or wicked. Okay? Now go back to Jeremiah 25.
We have Banyamyan. Banyamyan had made
A comment?
he made a comment.
Banyamyan, kwame ashurala Banyamyan. Go ahead.
He said, Job 5:12.
Right, he disappointed the device of the crafty, right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Read that for me real quick. Yeah, Job. To water Banyamyan. That's it. Yeah. Banyamyan, it runs in the family, huh? Job 5:12. To water Banyamyan. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. Yeah.
Reading from the book of Job, chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty.
So the Most High said he disappointed the devices of the crafty. Go ahead.
So that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
So that their hands cannot perform their own enterprises. Go ahead.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, what they've imagined to do. Go ahead.
And the counsel of the froward is carried headlong.
And the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. He destroys their counsel. There's more to it?
Verse 14.
What it says?
It say, they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night.
Right, so they're searching and seeking for solutions for their problems. Now go back to what a bunch of, go back to Jeremiah. And let's show you how the Most High is using the elites to bring about these events in the earth. All right? And it's going to lead up to what? Famine, death, food shortages. All right? All these events are going to lead up to what? To the book of Revelation, the 6th chapter. The black horse, the white horse, the red horse. All right? That's riding into town. Death, destruction, and famine. So finish Jeremiah 25, one verse you left off in. Okay, read the 9th verse again. Jeremiah 25 and 9.
Reading from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25, verse 9. Behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith the Most High, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant. And I will bring them against this land, and against the inhabitants thereof, and against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them, and make them an astonishment, and an hissing, and perpetual desolation.
And that's what the Most High did. He used Nebuchadnezzar to bring Nebuchadnezzar against all the nations. Even Egypt, he took down Egypt. He took us down, and all nations. Go ahead.
Moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth, and the voice of gladness, and the voice of bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the sound of the millstones, and the light of the candle.
So that's what the Most High was doing. He was using Nebuchadnezzar to diminish the nations. Continue.
And this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment. And these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years.
See, not only us alone, but all the nations served the king of Babylon for 70 years. I remember we were into captivity under Babylon for 70 years. 70 years in Babylon. Continue.
And it shall come to pass, when 70 years are accomplished, that I will punish the king of Babylon.
So the Most High said, yeah, Nebuchadnezzar, I use you to do my bidding, but when your time is up, I'm going to judge and punish you, just like he's going to do to America. Okay? So if the Most High judge and punish Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, what make you think he's not going to judge and punish America? That did worse than Babylon. Continue. Go ahead.
That nation, saith the Most High, for their iniquity in the land of the Chaldeans, and will make it perpetual desolations. And I will bring upon that land all my words which I have pronounced against it, even all that is written in this book, which Jeremiah hath prophesied against all the nations.
And Jeremiah prophesied against all the nations. Continue.
For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to their deeds, and according to the works of their own hands. For thus saith the Most High, power of Israel, unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it.
So Jeremiah was going to send this out to all the nations, that wine cup. That's the Most High fury. Continue.
And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them. Then took I the cup at the Most High's hands, and made all the nations to drink, unto whom the Most High has sent me.
And when you look at it today, that's the same that's going to happen today all over again. Continue.
To wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princesses thereof, to make them a desolation, and astonishment, and hissing, and a curse, as it is this day. Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
So you said Pharaoh, king of Egypt. The Most High is going to bring a judgment against Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Go ahead.
And his servants, and his princes, and all his people.
Go ahead.
And all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz.
Right, the Edomites, all right? The Arabs that was down in that era, okay? Because further down south, you had Arabs in that era, close to Saudi Arabia, all right? Uz is in the land of Jordan, and right next to Jordan is where? Saudi Arabia. Continue, go ahead.
And all the kings of the land of the Philistines.
The Philistines, go ahead.
And Ashkelon.
Go ahead.
And Azaz, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod.
All these were Philistines, Hamitic families that was living in the land during that time. Continue.
Edom and Moab.
The Edomites, the Moabites, go ahead.
And the children of Ammon.
And the children of Ammon, go ahead.
And all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, Dedan, and Tema, and Buz, and all that are in the uttermost corners. And all the kings of Arabia.
All the kings of Arabia, Saudi Arabia, all right, Yemen, okay, Qatar, all those areas. Before it was, the whole area was known as Arabia. It wasn't also known as Yemen. Well, Yemen was there, okay, but it wasn't called Yemen. It wasn't also as Qatar, Arab Emirates. The whole thing was known as Arabia, the land of Arabia, or the land of Ishmael. Continue.
And all of the kings of Salah, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert.
Which were the children of Ishmael, also of Keturah, the children that came up from Ishmael. I mean, from Abraham, Keturah, and Ishmael. Okay? Because Abraham had two sons besides Isaac. He had Ishmael, and also he had Midian, which came from Keturah. And all of them were dwelling in the area of Arabia. Continue.
And all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and all the kings of the Medes, and all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world, which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Shishak shall drink after them.
So what the Most High was showing you right here, that he sets up rulers to rule the earth. And when these rulers are set up to rule, they have dominion and authority over all the nations of the earth. They control the affairs and the policies. They control the resources. Bring it up today now. Who's in control of the earth today? Esau. And what do he do to all the nations? He dictates his policies and what he wants in the earth. He sets in his military, set up his military bases, and he tells the nation what must be done. But he tells you, oh, it's democratic. No. He uses covert operations. Continue.
Therefore, thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Most High of Hosts, the power of Israel, Drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall, and rise no more.
Okay, now from there, go to Jeremiah 27. And this is the point that I want to show. Jeremiah 27, and start from the 4th verse. Jeremiah 27 and 4. Now listen good to what the scripture is saying here. Jeremiah 27 and 4. Go ahead.
And command them to say.
Actually, you know what? Start from the first verse. Let's start from the first verse.
Reading from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 27, verse 1. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah.
Now, this was an Israelite king. This was an Israelite king that was reigning. All right? So while he was reigning, we had our own sovereign land. The Most High was raising up the king of Babylon to punish Israel. Continue.
Came this word unto Jeremiah from the Most High, saying, Thus saith the Most High to me, Make thee bonds and yokes, and put them upon thy neck.
So the Most High told Jeremiah, make thee bonds and yokes, and put them around your necks. So the Most High was symbolically telling Jeremiah, listen, when you make those bonds and yokes, it's not merely for you, but it's a symbol and a sign that these bonds and yoke was going to be upon the children of Israel and their kings for their disobedience against me. Continue.
And send them to the king of Edom, and to the king of Moab, and to the king of the Ammonites, and to the king of Tyrus, and to the king of Zidon, by the hand of the messengers which come to Jerusalem unto Zedekiah king of Judah, and command them to say unto their masters, Thus saith the Most High, the power of Israel, Thus shall ye say unto their masters, I have made the earth.
The Most High said, I have made the earth. Go ahead.
The man and the beast that are upon the ground.
The man, the beast that are upon the ground. Go ahead.
By my great power and by my outstretched arm, and have given it unto whom it seemed meet unto me.
So the Most High said, and given the earth unto whom it seemed meet unto me. The Most High said, I did this to whom I see fit to give the earth to rule for a set dispensation of time. So now the Most High was going to use Nebuchadnezzar to run the affairs of the earth at this particular time. And the reason why I'm showing this, because I'm bringing it up to today's point where you have the ruling elites that runs this earth, that dictates the policies in the earth, that set the agendas in the earth. And you think, oh man, but the Most High is using them to bring forth his prophecies and his judgment in the earth for his purpose. All right, continue.
And now have I given all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and the beasts of the field.
The Most High said, even the beasts of the field is going to be in subjugation to him. Just like Esau, he has the animals in subjugation today. Who else goes out there and says, well, the lion, and tells you the history of the lion, the hyenas, and all the different creatures. And he's doing experiment. He has them in zoos. He's going under the ocean. Well, the shark is a very predator animal. Who goes out there and do all these research for the animals today?
Right.
And could tell you when the animals mate, what he likes, what he doesn't like. Esau does that today. All right? So the Most High gave that power back then to Nebuchadnezzar for him to be for the beast to be in subjugation to him. Just like Esau subjugates the beast today. He controls the beast. You could pull up anything about any beast, and Esau could tell you information about a beast. He could tell you about a hippopotamus. Any beast you want to know, he could tell you. He could give you the information about it.
Good.
But he goes into his medical and Latin terminology about the beast,
Right.
and tells you where he lives, what he likes, when he mates. He gives you the whole history.
Right.
You want to put up a lion, he'll tell you, well, the lion, the male lion doesn't grow the female doesn't grow no mane, but the male lion grows a mane. The male lion mates 100 times a day. How he knows that? Because he did the research, he studied the animals.
Good.
All right? So he knows the makeup and study of all these animals, and he has it in classification. All right? He calls the dog what? The canine family. He calls the cat the what? The feline family. All right? But he calls it in what? The Latin terminology that he uses for the specification of all the animals. So he has that history down pat. Okay? You go in to see, you want to know about a shark. I don't know about a shark because I ain't dealing with no shark. But he's in the water swimming with a shark, under the shark belly, next to the shark. Who does that? You understand? He's out there with a bear, a grizzly bear. He's monitoring the grizzly bear for a whole year. The history, the movements of the grizzly bear. Right? He's out there monitoring a piranha, a poisonous snake.
Good.
We don't do that. You understand?
Good.
Okay, go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that the nation and kingdom which will not serve the same Nebuchadnezzar.
So the Most High said, and all the nations shall serve him. And read that part again.
And it shall come to pass.
What verse you in?
Verse 8.
Okay, read again.
And it shall come to pass that the nation and kingdom which will not serve the same Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and that will not put their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon.
See, and the nation that will not put their yokes under the yoke of the king of Babylon, that will not surrender or submit to the king of Babylon. Go ahead.
That nation will I punish.
The Most High said, I'm going to punish that nation. And how the Most High was going to punish that nation? By using Nebuchadnezzar. And Nebuchadnezzar was a beast when it came to punishing those nations, man. Okay? When the Most High put the spirit in a ruler or a nation to punish nation, they go in viciously, man. Okay? Prime example. When Esau brought us in slavery, Esau didn't play with us, man. He went in viciously. Okay? When you read the history of the slave breaker, that dude was a vicious, bad dude, man. He broke that Negro in. When he finished, that Negro submitted, man. Okay? It wasn't like, hell no. He broke that Negro in. And the example he gave is when he would tie a Negro to a horse. 2 horses, and will pull that Negro and stretch him and break his bones up, man. And he made examples of us in slavery, man.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So the Most High had to put that vicious spirit in Esau to break us, man.
Wow.
The Most High said, I will break your pride. Okay? And the Most High, he broke our pride by using this beast, man. Okay? This beast did, man, things that, what we know is just an inkling. But the things that we don't know, oh my goodness, man. Man, if we know what this man did to us, man, right now, you might just go out there and just get a damn gun and start killing every Edomite. If you really knew the things that he did to us, man. Okay? And he was vicious to us, man. And you know what he did? Alligator bait too? Fed us to alligators, used as bait for alligators, man. All right? So let's continue.
That nation will I punish, saith the Most High, with the sword and with famine. and with the pestilence, until I have consumed them by his hand.
See, by his hand, by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar. Continue.
Therefore hearken not ye to your prophets, nor to your diviners, nor to your dreamers, nor to your enchanters, nor to your sorcerers, which speak unto you, saying, Ye shall not serve the king of Babylon.
So we had Israelite leaders amongst us. They're saying, you're not going to slavery. Don't listen to Jeremiah. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You safe, you good, man. Nebuchadnezzar's not going to come and destroy you. And that's what you have in today's society too. America's not going to be destroyed. Those guys don't know what they're talking about. These Israelites, these guys are just hate mongers. They don't know what the Bible is saying. They're cherry picking scriptures.
Right.
God would never destroy America. That's what they're telling you. But we're telling you the Most High is going to destroy this beast.
Right.
It's going down.
Right.
But they was telling Israel back then, no, don't believe Jeremiah. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's an old fool. But the Most High brought Nebuchadnezzar up against us and all nations. And when it happened, Israel was amazed. They were shocked. Continue.
For they prophesy a lie unto you, to remove you far from your land, and that I should drive you out, and ye should perish. But the nations that bring their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon and serve him, those will I let remain still in their own land.
So the Most High said, but those nations that serve him, all right, and that bring themselves under the yoke of the king of Babylon, he said, those nations, I will let them remain still in their own land, saith the Most High, and they shall till it and dwell therein. The Most High said, you're gonna be allowed to dwell in your land if you give yourself up under the yoke of Nebuchadnezzar. And the Most High was showing his power, that he could use man in the earth to do his bidding.
Right.
That's how the Most High operates. The Most High operates on a physical, spiritual, and a highly divine level that you can't perceive.
Right.
The Most High is beyond our comprehension of how he does things. Continue.
Verse 12. I spake also to Zedekiah, king of Judah, according to all these words.
So
saying,
Jeremiah spoke to Zedekiah the king. And what Zedekiah the king was saying, Jeremiah, you're an old fool, man. We're not going to listen to you. You don't know what you're talking about. Because Israel was full of pride. We had a lot of pride. We ain't got to serve no king of Babylon. We are a sovereign nation. We're God's chosen people. Back then we knew that. We're God's chosen. We're not going to serve no nation. Yeah? But the Most High said, okay, I'm going to show you. Go ahead. So Jeremiah went to speak to Zedekiah about this thing here. And the king refused to listen. Continue.
Bring your necks under the yoke of the king of Babylon, and serve him and his people, and live.
See what Jeremiah told him? Bring yourself under the yoke of the king of Babylon and live. Go ahead.
Why will ye die, thou and thy people, by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, as the Most High has spoken against the nation that will not serve the king of Babylon? Therefore hearken not unto the words of the prophets that speak unto you, saying, Ye shall not serve the king of Babylon, for they prophesy a lie unto you. For I have not sent them, saith the Most High, yet they prophesy a lie in my name, that I might drive you out, and that ye might perish, ye and the prophets that prophesy unto you. Salah.
Okay, now jump down here to all right, that's it. Now from there, go to Revelation, the 6th chapter. Now I'm going to show you something here in Revelation, the 6th chapter. Revelation, the 6th chapter, right? Now let's go and now bring it up to today's point of view now. And we're going to see what the Most High was doing here in Revelation, the 6th chapter. Because in Revelation, the 6th chapter here, the Most High is using the powers that be in the earth to bring about these things. Start from the first verse.
Reading from the book of Revelations, chapter 6, verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder. One of the 4 beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse.
So all this white horse represents power. Power in the earth. Unseen and seeing powers in the earth. That's working in the earth to bring about these different social or civil changes in the earth. Continue.
And he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
And that's what they're doing now. They're conquering, and they're conquering to bring forth their new world agenda. The new world order is for the elites to set up their new world order where the whole entire earth is enslaved to them, and they're controlling everything. Right? All the resources of the earth is going to be under their control. That's their mindset and their ultimate goal. To have all nations, especially the children of Israel, forever in slavery under them. And to have a world where the Most High is not ruling, but Satan is the main God that's ruling this earth. That's their agenda, their new world order. That's the aims and the goals that they're moving towards to now.
Right.
That's right.
Continue.
And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red.
So these are all forces, power in the earth, rulers, right? Under the guidance of Satan. Continue.
And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
And that's what's happening now. Peace is taken from the earth. There's no peace in the earth. And peace is not coming. More wars is coming.
Right.
That's right.
Continue.
And that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
Continue.
And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse.
And that black horse represents what?
Death.
Death. Famine. Okay? Death and famine. That's the stage that we're moving into now.
Right.
The stage of famine.
Right.
And it's coming. Continue.
And he that sat on him had a pair of balances
And balances represents judgment.
Right.
Okay? Continue.
in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, A measure of wheat.
A measure of wheat. So food is going to be what? Ration.
Right.
To a certain level. Okay? And it's going to name the food that's going to be ration. Because it's coming. It might not seem like it, but it's building up to that. That backlog with the food supply, no baby formulas, that's all a build up to what's coming in the earth. Continue.
A measure of wheat for a penny.
A measure of wheat for a penny. Wheat is going to be ration. Okay? And what do you get from wheat? Bread. A lot of byproducts come from wheat. Okay, continue.
And 3 measures of barley for a penny.
And barley. All these are major staple food, wheat and barley. They said the war in Ukraine is stifling the wheat production in Ukraine.
Right.
They said Ukraine produces a large amount of wheat that's being exported.
Right.
In a lot of the Midwestern states, they produce wheat and barley. Okay? Just the other day, there was a big influx of crickets, and that was eating up all the crops in the Midwest.
That's right. That's right.
And it's some big crickets. It says the size of this figure, this size, big.
Wow.
And it said these crickets, in a matter of no time, eats up all the crops. And they said there's nothing they could do about it.
The World Health Organization put out a statement that there's only 10 weeks of wheat left in the earth.
And that don't think that's a joke. When they put out something like that, that means it's going to be a dictated policy that they're working on.
Wow.
10 weeks, that's what? 70 days?
Done like that.
That's what? 2 months? 2 months, 2 months and 10 days?
Yeah, 2 months. Yeah.
Wow.
Done.
So you know that's what they're working on. That's why all these processing plants are being burned up and destroyed. So they're working an initiative plan through the working of Satan. Continue.
So, And see thou hurt not the oil
And
and
see
the
that
wine.
you hurt not the oil and the wine. The oil and the wine represents the children of Israel. Okay? The oil and the wine represents the children of Israel. How do we know that? If somebody said, well, look, brother, you just assuming that you just mean the children of Israel, the oil and the wine. Brother, that's the oil is just talking about the literal oil and the wine. Well, you could say that too, but the oil and the wine, that's metaphoric. That symbolically represents the children of Israel, the elect of the Most High. All right? And how do we know the oil represents the children of Israel and the wine? Because what was the two main things that the Most High gave us? The oil and the wine. Okay? So let's prove that real quick, and then we come back to Revelation, the 6th chapter. The oil represents the children of Israel. Because what was the oil used for? For anointing and for what?
Light.
And to light the lamps.
Yeah.
Okay? The oil also represents your knowledge and wisdom.
Right.
Remember that in book of Matthew 25, the Most High said there were 10 virgins, 5 was wise, and 5 were foolish, and then they had no oil left in their lamps. So he's giving you a parable of that. Okay? And the wine represents the grapes that we used to drink. Wine was our main beverage. What did Yahushua do when he went to the wedding? He turned the water into wine. Bam! They said, man, you saved the best for last. The best wine, man. Okay, yes.
Proverbs 6:23. It says, "For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light."
Right, so a lamp uses oil. Those are all parables and metaphors symbolically referring to the children of Israel. All right, because you need oil for that lamp. All right, remember the Most High said in Isaiah, said, "Rise, shine, for the light is come." Let's go to that real quick. Let's go to a few scriptures. Let's go to Isaiah 60. Isaiah 60. Isaiah 60. Rise, shine, for the light is come. All right, Isaiah 60 and 1.
Reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Most High is risen up upon thee. Salah. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
And that's what the people in the earth is in gross darkness. Go ahead.
But the Most High shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
All right. Okay, from there now, let's go to Isaiah, the 5th chapter. But actually, jump down. Let me see. Jump down here. That's it. Go to Isaiah. Isaiah, the 5th chapter. Isaiah, the 5th chapter. And start here from read the first verse.
Reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 1. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song.
See, and the well-beloved represents Israel. Like it says in Peter, to the beloved. All right, go ahead.
A song of my beloved touching his vineyard.
And a vineyard represents what? A vineyard, whether it's grape or olives. That's considered a vineyard. Go ahead.
My well-beloved hath a vineyard in every fruitful hill, and he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein.
And a winepress represents what? Wine, grapes. Okay, go ahead.
And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes.
What does that mean? And he said it brought forth wild grapes.
Unclean.
Right, wickedness. Instead of bringing forth righteous fruits, it brought forth unrighteous fruits, wickedness. All right, read on.
And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah.
See who he's talking, who he's referring to? And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah. He's speaking to both Israel, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom.
God.
Continue.
Judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard.
See, my vineyard. He's calling Israel his vineyard. All right, go ahead.
What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes.
It brought forth wild grapes, bitter, wicked, corrupt. All right, continue.
And now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof.
What is the hedge? Huh? Right, the protection. The other nations. Beginning with who?
Esau.
No, beginning with who?
The Syrians.
The Assyrians. The Assyrians came down first on us. When we became a nation, the Assyrians came down first on us. Then the Babylonians. Then who? Then the Persians. Then who?
Greeks.
And then who?
Romans.
Right. So those were the four beasts that came down upon us. All right. Remember, Most High said these are the four beasts that have frail the children of Israel. That have scattered us. All right. Continue.
And it shall be trodden down, and I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain, no rain upon it.
Right. So the Most High is giving an example of when you have a farm. If it doesn't rain, what's going to happen? Your crops is going to wither. It's going to die. It won't grow. Okay. Continue.
For the vineyard of the Most High of hosts is the house of Israel.
See, the vineyard, whether it's olives or grapes, the vineyard of the Most High for the vineyard of the Most High of hosts is the house of Israel. Continue.
And the man of Judah his pleasant plant, and he looked for judgment, but behold, oppression for the righteousness, but behold, a cry.
So the Most High said when he looked for righteousness, oppression came up. All right? Because we weren't judging properly or dealing righteously. Continue.
Woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place, they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. In mine ears, said the Most High of hosts, of a truth many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair, without inhabitant. Yea, 10 acres of vineyard shall yield one bath, and the seed of the homer shall yield an ephah. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink that continue.
That's a fast
until
shot.
night.
Hold up. Yeah. It says, woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink. What is that talking about?
Drunkards.
Being a drunkard.
Right. It's physically and spiritual too. People get up early and that's the first thing. Let me get a drink, man. Winos. First thing you do, he don't want to eat no food. Let me get a taste. First thing in the morning, you want a taste. Did you eat? No, this is my food here, man. All right? That's Israel for you, man. Okay, go ahead. Read 11 again.
Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink.
And what is a strong drink? A strong drink ain't the wine, but what is a strong drink?
Philosophy.
And that too, but what's the physical strong drink?
Whiskey.
Hennessy and vodka.
Right.
Okay, that's that strong drink. All right, because Israel loved that strong drink too. All right, they don't want the wine; they want that strong drink. Give me that thing so I can feel good. You understand? Israel loved to feel good.
Good.
All right, because that strong drink makes you feel good too. But when you overdo it, what happens? You become addicted. You become a drunkard, man. Okay, go ahead.
That continue until night,
And they do it till night. All right, go ahead.
till wine inflame
Until the wine inflamed them. Okay, until it inflames them. Okay, the Most High said, yeah, you could drink wine, but it has to be in moderation. Okay, everything has to be even strong drink. Because the Most High speak about in Deuteronomy, he said you could drink the strong drink, but people overdo it. Right? People overdo the strong drink so much that because what? Sclerosis of the liver. You got Muslims tell you, hey, it was Allah, stuff Allah. You're not supposed to drink strong drink. The Quran said you're not supposed to drink. That's what the Quran said, but the Most High said you could drink strong drink. But the Most High didn't say to abuse it. Okay? People abuse it. Because they don't drink wine either in Islam. It's forbidden to drink wine. But notice every other culture in the earth drinks wine. Every culture in the earth drinks wine.
Right.
All right? Spain, Italy, France, South America, wherever you go in the earth, every culture drinks wine. Greece, okay? But what was Egypt drank wine too, but it's something else that Egypt drank a lot too. Everybody knows? Yeah, beer. They drank a lot of beer in Egypt, man. Okay, a lot of beer. Okay, all right. So go ahead.
And the heart and the vow, the tabret and pipe and wine.
All right, that's it. So go back to Revelation, the 6th chapter. All right, so read the part where it says, and see thou heard not the oil and the wine.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny.
So food is going to be rationed to a certain degree where it's going to be scarce. Okay, go ahead.
And 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
See thou heard not the oil and the wine, the elect of the Most High. All right? But in the process of that, go to Isaiah 65 and 13. Isaiah 65 and 13. Because in the process of that, it's going to get real bad.
Reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Power, behold, my servant shall eat.
See, but the Most High said his servants is going to eat when all these things happen. The famine, the rationing of food, shortages. Go ahead.
But ye shall be hungry.
But those that hate the Most High, that made mockery of the Most High, they're going to be hungry. Continue.
Behold, my servant shall drink.
See, my servant shall drink. Go ahead.
But ye shall be thirsty.
But they're going to be thirsty. Go ahead.
Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart.
Right. And there's another scripture the Most High said in Isaiah, where he speaks about it, it says,
Isaiah 65:17.
No, it says, thy waters shall be sure. Somebody go find for me. It said,
65:13.
no, I just read this one. There's another one in Isaiah. The Most High said, on the munitions of rocks, thy waters shall be sure. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Give me 1 second. Somebody go find out and read it. Thy waters shall be sure. It's in Isaiah
33 and 16.
Yeah, read that for me. Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 16. He shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be the munitions of rocks.
Right, that's us, all right? Read again.
He shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be the munition of rocks. Bread shall be given him.
See, bread shall be given to us in the time of that famine. Go ahead.
His waters shall be sure.
And his waters shall be sure. The Most High is going to look out for his elect. All right? Okay, from there, go back to Revelation, the 6th chapter. Yeah, we read the one in Isaiah 65. We just read that, Mike. Isaiah 65 and 13. Yeah. Now go back to Revelation, the 6th, and read this. We're in the 7th verse now. Yeah.
Reading from the book of Revelations, chapter 6, verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse.
And pale represents what? Death. That's what's coming, that death, man. That pale horse. And that's the horse that's riding through the earth now. That pale horse, man. It's riding in slowly, but it's coming. Okay, go ahead.
And his name that sat on him was death.
Yeah, and his name is called death. Okay, go ahead.
And hell followed with him.
And all hell is going to follow before him, okay? Because it's going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. Continue.
And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth.
And the fourth part of the earth represents mainly here in America. That's the fourth part of the earth. And power was given to him by Satan to bring forth that death and destruction. Okay? Yes.
I was going to say, and pale in Greek is green.
It's green.
It's from chloros, like chlorophyll.
Right.
So it deals with the economy.
Economy, yeah. When everything starts to fail, everything fails. And the fourth part of the earth represents America. Okay? When you check out this and you research it, the fourth part of the earth is America. Okay? Read that verse again.
And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth.
That's what's coming. Hold that real quick. Go to Revelation, the 16th chapter. In the Apocrypha. Revelation, the 16th chapter. And that's what's coming. I'm sorry. 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. And start from the 17th verse.
Reading from the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days?
See what Ezra said? Woe is me, woe is me. Who shall deliver me in those days? Continue.
The beginning of sorrow.
See, the beginning of sorrows. Go ahead.
And great mourning.
And great mournings. Go ahead.
The beginning of famine.
The beginning of famine. Go ahead.
And great death.
And great death. This is the same pale horse that's riding into town. All right, continue.
The beginning of wars.
The beginning of wars. Go ahead.
And the powers shall stand in fear.
See, and the powers shall stand in great fear. The powers of this earth, the rulers, gonna stand in great fear. Continue.
The beginning of evils.
See, the beginning of evils. Go ahead.
What shall I do when these evils shall come?
See what Ezra said? What shall I do when these evils shall come? And a lot of people is going to be saying that, oh my God, what are we going to do when these evils come? The America they trust and love so much. All right? Because the scripture said, hold that real quick and go to Revelation, the 13th chapter. I'm coming back to Revelation 6. Because what we're seeing now, right? The same beast that they saw all the time, right? No, I'm coming back to the Apocrypha. I ain't finished yet. Revelation 13 and and 11. Revelation 13:11.
Reading from the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth.
That represents America. America is that beast coming out from the earth. Okay? So you see what happened just now with Wade versus Roe?
Right.
How they shut down? They said, sorry, woman, you can't have no more abortions.
Right.
The Supreme Court just usurped authority and said, nope, cannot do. All right? And the reason why they did it, because white population has diminished. And they said, we can't afford no more of you white women to be killing our seed.
Right.
That's the only reason why they did it. Okay? Because they see now that they're a minority in the earth.
Right.
The jig is up.
Right.
That's right.
All right? So they're trying to hold on like, no, we can't kill no more white babies, man. Because they said from the 50s to now, it's been a lot of aborted babies, man. Yes. Yeah, more of it. Now the curses are flipping on them now.
That's right.
You understand?
Right.
The Most High is flipping those curses upon them now.
Right.
Fine.
Okay? Okay, go ahead.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb.
And he had 2 horns like a lamb. Those 2 horns represents his political powers. All right? So he had 2 horns like a lamb. Now we know a lamb doesn't have horn. So it's talking about you symbolically about powers in the earth. So he had 2 horns like a lamb. It came up as a lamb, representing that it was God-fearing, peaceful.
Right.
We believe in the Constitution. All right? Go ahead.
And he spake as a dragon.
And he spake as a dragon. But in the latter part of that now, you know what? To hell with the Constitution. I'm going to speak like the devil now, like the dragon. Now he's telling you, he's showing you his true intent of what he is now.
Right.
All right? He's no more saying the Constitution said we have rights. Now he's saying, no, we're going to show you who we are. We're the devils, and we don't give a damn who doesn't like it. And that's what he's doing. All right? Because when he overturned Wade versus Raid, white woman is enraged now, man. I tell you, by him doing that, the white man's going to have a lot of white women that's going to hate his behind now, boy. They're going to turn against him now. Because now they have to go somewhere illegal to get abortions now. They can't go to no abortion shops nowhere around America. They have to go back to the old days of doing abortions, man.
Right.
All right? So he did it not so much because of us, for his own white seed. Because his white seed is being diminished in the earth. Because even Biden came, when he was running, he said by 2030, white America will be a minority.
Right.
He said it when he was running. By 2030, we will be a minority. Hispanics and black will be the major population of people.
Right.
So they know this. Okay? Continue. Read on. The 12th verse.
Verse 12.
Read 11 again.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth.
That's America. Go ahead.
And he had 2 horns like a lamb. And he spake as a dragon.
So in the latter end of their rulership, they're going to speak like a dragon. Continue.
And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him.
So he's doing the same thing that the Roman Empire did before him. He's doing the same exact thing that the Roman Empire did. Exercise means to do the same thing all over again. All right? Read that part again, the 12th verse.
And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast.
To worship the first beast, which was the Roman Empire. Go ahead.
Whose deadly wound was healed.
Whose deadly wound was healed. The Roman Empire deadly wound was healed when it came back in the Renaissance. All right? When it came back into rulership. Okay? Now go back to 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. And you finish reading the 18th verse, right?
Come.
Okay, read the 19th verse.
Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth.
So it says, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon the earth. Why is it going to seem that it's going to be cheap? What is victuals? Anybody know what is victuals?
Resources.
Right. It says victuals
Shall be so good.
Shall be so good, cheap upon the earth. It's going to think it's going to be, everybody's going to think it's going to be cheap. Oh, it's abundance of things. All right, go ahead.
That they shall drink themselves to be in good case.
See, they think they're going to be in good case. Go ahead.
And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
Right. See, sword, famine, and great confusion is going to come. Because like I said, American political party has been the most divided ever than before in this era. When that January 6th event took place, that divided the whole political spectrum of America. And it will never be unified again.
Right.
Never. From that day that breach started, the political lines with America has been divided.
Right.
And it's going to be anarchy from that point on. All right, go ahead.
For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine.
See, many of them shall perish of famine. Go ahead.
And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
And that's what's coming, the sword, because people are going to be fighting for food.
Done.
Okay, go ahead.
And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down.
Right, because there's going to be insurrection in the cities.
Wow.
It's going to be uprising. People are going to be fighting for food.
Wow.
Okay, go ahead.
There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard.
Right, because of the famine and because of the drought and the stuff that's coming. Okay, the shortage of food. Continue.
Even so, in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword.
Why are they going to search your houses with the sword? They're looking for food. Okay, continue.
And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom. The woman shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Other One.
So he's saying, ye servants of the Most High, hear and understand these things. Don't be like the rest of the people.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Behold, the word of the Most High, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Most High spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack.
See, the plagues draw nigh and it's not going to slack. The plagues going to come back to back. Boom. The Most High is going to bring these plagues like never before. Continue.
As when a woman with child in the 9th month.
See, like a woman is in the 9th month, she's giving her pain. She's screaming, she's crying out. That's how those pains gonna come, man. It's coming rapidly. Okay? Continue.
Bringeth forth her son within 2 or 3 hours of her birth. Great pains compass her womb.
And great pains is coming for this country, man. Go ahead.
Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth.
See that? Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. The Most High is going to bring the plagues back to back. Okay, go ahead.
And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Be as pilgrims. Don't say, well, oh, this is my country, I love it. Nah, be ready to make that move, man. Okay? Ready to move instantly, man.
Right.
Because you don't know what's going to happen day to day, man. Okay? The Most High should be as pilgrims in those days, man. Be ready, man. Okay? Go ahead.
He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose.
Okay, go over here to the 15th chapter. Go over to the 15th chapter and start from the start from the 12th verse.
Reading from the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 12. Egypt shall mourn.
See, Egypt, the spiritual Egypt is going to mourn. Okay, it's not talking about physical Egypt. It's talking about this spiritual Egypt. Go ahead.
And the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it.
And you see all these things are happening now. And the foundation, the economy, okay, it's going to be smitten. Go ahead.
They that till the ground shall mourn.
Who's there to till the ground? Farmers. Farmers are catching hell now, man.
Right.
They're complaining.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
For their seed shall fail
See, their seed's not growing up. It's failing. Continue.
through the blasting in hell, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another.
And that's coming. Civil uprising of upheaval is coming. Right? Continue.
And swords in their hand.
And swords in their hands. Okay? Assault rifle guns, man. Okay, go ahead.
Right.
For there shall be a sedition among men.
For there shall be sedition among men, uprising amongst men. And it's going to stem from the political parties. Because right now, these Republicans and these conservatives are blaming Biden. They said he's the cause to the economy, the inflation, the gas prices, the food shortage. They said you are the problem. And when you got one group of the people blaming another group of the government, that's going to lead to sedition. Because they want what? A solution to the problem.
Right. Right. Right.
Continue.
And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings
See?
nor princes.
And that's why, if we read earlier, more and more police detectives are retiring.
Right.
That's going to lead to more and more crimes. Who's going to solve these problems when these things happen?
Right.
All right? Read on.
For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
See, they're not going to regard their kings, their governors, their presidents, their political officials, law enforcement. All right, go ahead.
And the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
See, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So the things that they want to do and will do is going to stand in the power of their hands. So January 6th was just the beginning of what's to come. All right, continue.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor,
And that's coming very soon. A man's not going to have no pity upon his neighbor. Go ahead.
but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation.
And that's what's coming. For lack of bread and great tribulation, which goes right back here to the 6th chapter here and the 8th verse. That pale horse that's right into town. All right? Go back to Revelation 6 now. And read that 8th verse again. So this ties right into all the events that's coming upon the earth. And who's the Most High uses to bring all this destruction? The ruling elites of the earth. Continue.
Reading from the book of Revelations, chapter 6, verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High, and for the testimony which they held.
That's those of us that were killed in this setup at the time we were brought here. He saw those that were murdered and killed, crying out to the Most High, asking for justice. Okay, continue.
And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Most High, holy and true?
So they asking the Most High, how long this thing is gonna last, man? How long you gonna let this devil reign and continue doing these things before you bring your judgment? Continue.
Dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
Right. So he said, when you gonna avenge us, man, and those of our brothers that are still on the earth? So they asking the Most High to avenge us and to bring his judgment. Continue.
And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season.
That we're gonna rest for a little season. No, just a little season. Continue.
Unto their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed, as they were, should be fulfilled.
So some of us is gonna die in this tribulation. All right? Some of us. is going to go through what some of our brethren went through. Okay, go ahead.
And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake.
So hold that to show you, right? What we just read here in the 11th verse. Go to 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. 2nd Ezra 16 and the 70th verse.
Reading from the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection.
See it? A great insurrection. Go ahead.
Upon those that fear the Most High.
Upon those that fear the Most High. All right, go ahead.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Most High. For they shall waste and take away their goods.
So they coming against the righteous of the Most High. Okay, against the Most High's people. Continue.
And cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
And that we're going to be tried in that gold of that fire in that time. All right? The Most High said that's the hour of temptation. That's going to try the whole earth. Continue.
Hear, O ye, my beloved, saith the Most High. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
See what the Most High said? I will deliver you from the same. Go ahead.
Be ye not afraid,
Most High said, don't be afraid, neither doubt. Go ahead.
For power is your guide.
So the Most High is our guide. Now go back to Revelation 6, and we're going to end the class. Finish up Revelation 6. The 12th verse.
Reading from the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood.
Right. So all these going to be the signs to show you the end that's coming. Blood moons. All right. The sun is going to be blocking out. Go ahead.
And the stars of the heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind.
The destruction that's coming. Go ahead.
And the heaven departed as a scroll when it was rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich man, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the mountains in the rocks of the mountains.
Right. So they're hiding in their what? In their underground fallout shelters and bunkers. All right, go ahead.
And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb.
Right, from the wrath of the Lamb that's coming when Yahushua returns back in the earth. Go ahead.
For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
And who's going to be able to stand in that day? All right, so one more scripture I'm going to close out. All right, go to 1 Corinthians. First Corinthians 15. First Corinthians 15:58. Start from 57.
Reading from the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 57. But thanks be to the Most High, which giveth us the victory.
So the Most High is going to give us the victory through Yahushua. Continue.
Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the outer one, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Hamashiach.
Right, so that's the final exhortation that he gave to us. All right, it says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Most High, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in Hamashiach. All right, so with that, I say shalom. Kwam Yasharala.